Hello everyone, this is The Butcher with KillerReviews.com and the Killer Reviews Movie Podcast. I'm doing a review today of a film called Hidden in the Woods. And this comes out on DVD pretty soon. This is September 11th. This comes out next week on DVD from Artsploitation Films. So I'm chilling out here. It's 100 degrees out right now. So I have a sweat rag, which is disgusting, or it's a towel. But it's 100 degrees, so it's awful. My air conditioner's off because of the sound. I'm hanging out with a glass of wine, smoking a cigar, and recording YouTube videos tonight. So let's get on with the show. Hidden in the Woods. Let me read you the synopsis. This is deep in the Chilean countryside. Anna and Annie live with their deformed brother, and they're subject to their father's perverse and sadistic whims. After a dispute with the police leaves a wake of death and mutilation, the girls flee and find refuge in a remote cabin hidden from society. Meanwhile, a crime lord, convinced they have stolen the massive stacks of drugs their father was hiding, sends a violent group of thugs to find them. Now here's the sketchy part. Based on a bizarre true story and not for the faint of heart. See, It surprises me, and keep in mind, people, this may be based on a true story. I have no idea. But that's the problem. You never know. You could literally put on any movie based on a true story, and you actually have no idea if it's actually based on a true story. And they do this, obviously, to sell more DVDs, because it's obviously more interesting if it's a true story. But I have no way of knowing if that's true real or not. And it says supposedly it's being remade right now for U.S. audiences. And this film features extreme violence, prostitution, sexual assault, buckets of blood, and even cannibalism. Well, that's true. I can confirm that. So I was psyched when I got this in the mail, because I saw the trailer for this a while back, and I had emailed the company asking for a copy of it so I could check it out and do a review for it. So I watched it. Excuse me, but I get so little time off to myself that I am relishing. Is that a word, relishing? And my cigar and my wine. So I watched this the other night. I was so excited to watch this. And I was expecting a gritty, dirty exploitation movie for sure. That's what I got. I do have some pros and cons. It wasn't as good as I was hoping, honestly. But I have a little note here, a little cheat sheet for some thoughts I wrote down when I was watching the movie. So for some positives, let's see. Violent as hell, yes, check. There'll be some minor spoilers, but it's no big deal. Like within the first 5 minutes of the movie, the dad rapes one of his daughters, and she ends up having a baby. And she literally, gives birth to it. This is pretty gross. She's like, I don't know, she looks like she's 13 or 14. She's standing up over a bucket and just, dumps the baby out. Standing up, it just falls out of her into a bucket. And then the dad brings the baby down to the woods and cleans it off. Or he feeds it meat. That's what he does. He feeds it meat. And then the baby grows up in the shed. So that's the brother they talk about in the synopsis. It's actually through incest. So he's all deformed and fucked up and stuff. So violent, gritty. These are my pros, by the way. Now keep in mind, right from the get-go, you have to understand. First of all, if you're watching this YouTube video, then this is your kind of movie probably anyway. Soccer moms, you won't see this as a red box. The types of people there's people that will give this a 1 out of 10. I think on IMDb it has a 2 or 3 out of 10. Come on, people. This is it's a grindhousey exploitation film with zero redeeming value whatsoever. There's no redeeming value. There's nothing. You get nothing good out of this movie. You just watch shit happen to people that you would not want to happen to yourself. So we're going to review this movie in a way from that perspective. You should know what you're getting into anyway. So one of my pros is how dirty and disgusting it is. Yes, it's awful. It's gross. It's effective, shocking. Yeah, so that's one of my pros. It delivers. It delivers on what it promises to be. Yes, check. The lead girls in it I thought were really good. It's a Spanish film. They're speaking Spanish in the movie. And there's lots of nudity in the movie. That's good. The chicks are pretty cute. So you get to see them naked throughout the movie here and there. And it's funny, as far as pros go, you know, like my third, I only have 3 positives. My first one was violent as hell, dirty, gritty, pure exploitation. The second one, the chicks get naked. The third point, my pro, is love the pure exploitation angle. So basically, my only real positive besides like seeing chicks naked, my only real positive is that it delivers on what it does. So films like Last House on the Left come to mind. Like Run Bitch Run was a more recent one. But like films that are just trashy, this film delivers. It does. Like there's tons of blood and gore and rape and cannibalism and drugs. I mean, so as far as an exploitation movie, that was the number one thing I wanted to see, and that's the number one thing I got. Okay? Now let's do some negatives. And let me grab my little rag here. I'm sorry, but it's 100 degrees and it sucks. So some negatives for Hidden in the Woods, okay? It's a lower budget movie than I was hoping it would be, honestly. It doesn't look terrible, it doesn't, but you can tell, like, the sound's actually decent, but just overall, the sound's sketchy. It is sketchy here and there, but the editing was one of my bigger problems. There's scenes where the editing is confusing because the editing is supposed to tell you, like, help you tell the story of what's going on, because it's choosing images to show you. You know, if there's no dialogue, like an action scene or whatever, you're relying on images to show you what's happening. And there were a couple times in the movie when the editing confused me because I didn't know there weren't enough shots, like a wide shot of some action, so you know what's happening. And the editing, it was like I watch a scene and I go, wait, I'm like, whoa, how did that person escape? So I rewound it and I realized like there's like one shot that shows it, but it's not enough information within the frame. You know, for instance, one person's getting in a car, but you don't know whose car it is or where the car came from. But you have to assume, oh, it's this person's car, because it can only be that person's car, if that makes any sense. So the editing was really the storyline got confusing because of the editing wasn't great, and maybe there weren't enough shots, you know, actual scenes shot, you know, coverage shot to explain some of those, you know, confusing parts. Because if you're in the editing room, you don't have so much footage to deal with. You have to do what you have to work with. You have to work with. The sets didn't feel great either. Some of the cabins were okay. There's a couple spots, whatever cabins. But I know, like, the main drug lord, like, he has like a conference room. And if you've seen Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, there's a joke where they're having a meeting and the room is so small that it's a conference table with people around it, but it's such a small room that nobody can get in and out of the room. And it's a great joke in that movie, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. That's what this conference room felt like of the drug lord. It didn't really look like, if you see Scarface, like, you know what a drug room looks like. You know, like a drug palace, like a big mansion, whatever. This kind of felt like some dude was making like 50 grand a year, and this is like his summer home. And it did not feel like a Chilean drug lord's home. It did not. And the people were really tight together, like at a meeting. And the acting was kind of like the background. Because I watch, when someone's talking, I like to watch the people around them and see how they're acting. And the acting was a little bit odd. It was just like, it's a low budget movie, you know? So like you pick up on stuff like that. But it does take you out of the movie, for me at least, you know? So there's all these cool scenes of violence and stuff, and I did like the story. I did like how it progressed, and it moved pretty fast. And but you get taken out of the movie when you see a low budget scene not done, or you don't believe something, you know. Okay. Oh my God, this is funny. At one point, this is a minor spoiler, but whatever. Who cares? I mean, it's an exploitation movie. But at one point, the girl, the two sisters, the movie opens up with them, their dad torturing them, whatever, or raping them, whatever. And the cops come one day to investigate the house, and the girls run off, and the dad gets taken by the police. And so the dad gets put in jail. And at one point, he gets out, which isn't a spoiler, honestly. I'm not spoiling anything for you guys. At one point, he gets out of jail. And they're literally, because I'm thinking, I read the back of the box, like I know he gets out of jail at some point, or the trailer or whatever. I mean, I know that it happens at some point. And I'm thinking, how is he going to break out of jail? Like, how are they going to do that? So the filmmakers decide to have him. It's like, I think it's even raining. I don't know. Like one night, you just see a hand. They show a shot of like dirt, like a yard or a field, and you see a hand come out, and then like the body comes out, and this is just like Raising Arizona. If you see Raising Arizona, this is John Goodman and oh fuck, who's the other guy? A huge actor. Shit, that sucks. But I may be John Turturro, but I'm not sure. But I'm probably wrong. But they break out. Oh, you know who it is? Oh shit. Michael Forsythe, I think, or the Forsythe guy. Oh shit, Forsythe, William Forsythe. Thank you. Yes, thank you. I redeem myself. But the dad in this movie comes out of the ground, and he's like ah, and he like pulls himself up out of the ground. So he like crawled out of the jail somehow. That's not realistic. I mean, like, how is he crawling underground through the like? Shawshank Redemption had a tunnel. I get that. Like he dumped himself out in like a sewer tunnel. And so it's stuff like that, like where like the filmmakers are saying, "Oh, well, how are we gonna get this guy out of jail?" And they didn't have a good answer. They just had him had him dig himself out somehow, which is ridiculous. It's a joke. I laughed. So you get these constant low budget production things pulling you out of the movie, which overall, I mean. I did like it. Like I was taken by it. Like I liked the violence felt real. The girls were pretty good actors. The two sisters running away. But that's kind of all I have for thoughts on the movie. My last negative was it didn't keep my attention. But that's because when you get pulled out of the movie by bad script choices or bad production, it just makes the movie less quality movie. That's my only problem. So, I'm going to wrap this up because I realize I've gone quite long on this review. I'm sorry, guys. But this is Hidden in the Woods. And the bonus features an interview with director, blah, 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 some Spanish dude, an 8-page collectible booklet. And honestly, an 8-page collectible booklet. Let me see if I even have that. Oh, okay, that's not bad. That's decent. That's what it looks like. Yeah, that's actually pretty decent. And behind the scenes featurette and some trailers. I honestly didn't watch those. I'm sorry. I should have watched those for the review. But the case looks really nice, actually. Look at the case. That's pretty cool. Let's see if I can show you this. You see that? Alright, so my overall thoughts on this movie. If you really enjoy exploitation, dirty grindhouse, disgusting movies, then you will like this movie for what it is. I'm going to give us a 3 out of 5. That's my scale. A soccer mom scale, this is like a 0.5 out of 10. Okay? Most people would not find this redeeming. It would not find redeeming value to it whatsoever. But if you do have a place in your heart for horror movies, exploitation movies, I'll tell you, the biggest positive is it does deliver what it sells. That's huge. So I'm going to give it, from me, my scale of what I enjoy, a 3 out of 5. A Brain Chomper scale, a 1 out of 5. Alright, that's my review for Hidden in the Woods. Look for it out on DVD in the 3rd week of September. And please subscribe to the videos. We're trying to build up our YouTube listener base, or viewership, whatever I guess you could say. And listen to the Killer Reviews podcast, available at killerreviews.com. And thanks for watching. Have an awesome day.